fucking Carl. Well, pitter patter, let's get the fuck out of here. Welcome into Joe's The Bull Guys podcast. As always, we have Jimbo down here and we have Nicole over here. We're gonna go ahead.
Wait, Joe. Wait, Joe, you have to shut
What?
the fuck up for a second. I have something to say that I didn't even get to tell you the other day because I was just completely getting cut off left and right, and I was just kind of quiet. But anyway, so we forgot the best quote, the best funny quote from Monday night's podcast is, "If I had a dick, this is where I would tell you to suck it." And Dolores Bickerman said that in, I forgot what movie it was. Oh my god, I forgot to write that part down. But anyway,
I don't think it even matters. The fact that
it
you
doesn't
just
matter.
said
But
I
was like, damn, I forgot to. But I had to just start off with it. Sorry.
I'll drink to that.
Cut you off and just say,
listen,
you know what? If I had a dick, this is where I tell you to suck it.
Slancha Pro salute.
That was awesome.
That was a great one. And ladies and gentlemen, sorry we were running late. We had technical difficulties. Fuck Carl, okay? Like he said, I'm here. And then he froze out like fucking Elsa in that Disney movie that we can't mention because of copyrights. But Carl, you know where the fuck you are. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so I want to, start tonight's show out as always with that daily affirmation here. So we're going to go ahead and take a look and see what we got. And Aaron, sorry we ran late. We were relying on Carl and then lost track of time because Carl disappeared. So we're going to blame Carl tonight. Carl, you shitbag. No, I'm just kidding. We love Carl. He's just a nozzle nut. That's all it is. Okay, so as always, your badass daily affirmation of the day, and coming to you from the Tired Nurse, badass motherfucking affirmations. And I had a little too much of that fire department coffee, and I'm a little fucking shaky myself. Hey, Patrice. Slow fucking progress is better than no fucking progress. In the fucking end, small fucking steps get big fucking results. Quit fucking beating yourself up. Not gonna lie, when I first glanced down at that, I thought it was talking about beating off. I was a little upset, but that's my get ready in the morning, take a shower, violate the loofah. And I think Nicole, tonight we were talking about toxic trends, right? Like that was the trait we were going to go with tonight. And I think you said you had something about the get ready with me trends, right?
Yes, I do. Can I tell you like kind of what toxic, like what content creators can do as like a toxic and whole?
Go for it. Yeah, okay. No, go for it.
All right, so these are like the negativity effects that we're talking about any content creator, meaning in any genre, food, get ready with me, comedy, so on. So this is like some negative, harmful ways. It would be misleading to users. So like, let's say they were selling a product and they were saying that, let's say it was like a hair product and, oh, they're going to say your hair grows, but really it doesn't, or your hair turns green. So like they're misleading users. Another dangerous and harmful is promoting dangerous content, which could cause, like, let's say they told them to do something and it caused them, like, let's say get arrested or get hurt or whatever in the lines. Shaming lifestyle changes, promoting secrecy. So like not really telling the truth, not being honest with their viewers. Toxic positivity, so like trying to act like they're being positive but they're really not, and it's actually causing more of a negative outcome in your life or to the user or to the watcher. Creating all or nothing thinking and then posting about self-harm or depression.
So it's funny, a lot of the things you touched on, a lot of them sound like positive shit, right? Like these get ready with me. You said, what was the other one? The not the positivity, the one right before that. I'm sorry.
Oh, promoting secrecy.
Right. Okay. So like all of these, like, oh, we're gonna just, Jim and I are gonna go battle, and we're gonna go. I'm gonna say stuff about your mom. You're gonna say stuff about my mom. But in behind, Jimbo, listen, if you get them riled up, I'll split what I got. Like it's like, what the fuck, man? Like people can't just, go out there and show their true colors. They got to hide behind some veil. And I think that some of the things that are dangerous with these like toxic trends is that you have these young kids that are watching this shit. And these young kids are the ones that are sitting here that are soaking this in. It's not you or me or Jimbo, right? It's these young kids that are like, oh, wait a second. If I don't have a smoky eye, I'm not cool. If I don't,
right, like it's all the social media kids that were born with social media. They don't know anything else but the internet.
and that's the problem. Like when we were growing up, we had dial-up, right? Like it took 45 minutes to download a picture of fucking Jennifer Aniston from Friends that they digitally cut her head off and put it on another body.
And
right?
your parents were usually on the phone, and you had to share the line with the internet,
Right. And then God forbid somebody got a fucking phone call in the middle of it, cut you right the fuck out. It was ridiculous. So
there's nothing like 3 a.m. when you're trying to be quiet and the whole house hears ring, ring, ding, 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 ding,
oh,
ring,
God.
ring, ring, ding, ding, ding,
or they get the phone bill. Do you remember the phone bill? And it would be like bouncing off of every fucking country, and it'd be like, why is the MCI bill $5,000? Well, I was a school project. That's what it was. It was a school project.
I told my friend in Budapest at 3 a.m.
Right. It was an anatomy lesson. Probably a fat guy in the basement in Michigan, but it was an anatomy project. But basically a lot of the stuff that you see on TikTok lately is not about that inclusion. And I think Luca said it the best, right? Like honesty and inclusion is the best recipe for success. And you got a lot of these people that now are starting to get very fucking personal. And I think we were talking about some of the research you were doing on the Get Ready With Me, right? Like I personally have a problem with them, right? First of all, I have a problem with the ASMR shit. I can't deal with that. My ADHD's all over the fucking map with that crap. But my biggest problem with the Get Ready With Me is now we're setting this unreal expectation that this is what it's got to be. This is exactly what you should look like. You have to look like this. And the more people that are in that room, the more susceptible that these children are, or even malleable adults that don't really think for themselves anymore. And they just kind of become that herd mentality. And speaking of herd mentality, Red Kingdom, just throwing it out there, just saying, remember the 5th of November. But anyway, go ahead, Nicole. You want to, let's get into that Get Ready With Me or your list. You had a list, right?
I do have a little bit of a list. So there was this model, her name was May Van D Wild, and she is a model for, I think, another country, not for like the United States. Anyway, she does a lot of the Get Ready With Me lives, but like while she's doing this, she is talking about she had an addiction similar to my past. So she is, while she's like dabbing on concealer, she's telling everyone about her, her addiction, which I guess in some ways that is more of a positive, like getting personal story. Cause you might be able to like help somebody else, or like somebody else could relate to you. So I feel like that's kind of like, it could be toxic, but it also could be very positive.
Question for that then.
Yes.
So in the recovery journey, right? Like I get like, promote, share the story. That way it will help somebody else out. Now you have these kids that might not have been exposed to that might not even know about this. And they're watching, Miss Von, whatever her name was. I'm sorry. Today is one of those days, but Kat Von D or whatever. No, I'm kidding. That was
May. Let's just call her May. That's her first
we'll
name.
call her May. I just dated myself with Kat Von D. But anyway, yeah, I know, Jimbo. I know you probably were downloading that image just like I did. But anyway, now you have these kids that are looking at her and going, hey, look at this smoky eye. Now they're hearing about these stories. Now, I'm not saying that I don't think it's a good idea, but it could slip.
It could be very toxic. And she also had a eating disorder, depression while she's dabbing, and she's a model. So they're already thinking she's beautiful. She's putting this beautiful makeup on, using probably very expensive products, and also telling a very toxic story.
Right. So, and they might not be listening to the moral of the story, which is get clean, have recovery. They're more looking at the makeup and
like,
hearing,
you should have an eating disorder, but
if I want to look like that, I need to swallow cotton balls dipped in orange juice, or I have to do rails of, Colombian marching powder.
Right.
I get it.
So I guess like the Get Ready With Me, like the Get Ready alone had like 4 4.5 million views. Like her video alone had 4.5 million views.
It's a lot of exposure.
That's an example, but like I guess in 2023, really like just like that's really when, because it first started with like clean your house with me, like get your house cleaned up. But then the get ready came in like kind of like right in there, like last year, like 2023, 2022. That's where a lot of these like information I got from was from 2023. But it says they were sharing deeply personal experiences like that has become a commonplace on TikTok. Whether it's get ready for a funeral, soft glam reunion with an ex.
Whoa, did you say funeral?
Before going to prison.
Wait. You said funeral? Get ready with me to go to a funeral?
Yeah, so there is content creators while they're doing a get ready with the hashtag get ready with me with 1 million followers while they're getting ready to go to a funeral. Like that's an example. Another example is they're going to prison.
Yeah, I understand. Oh, hold on. Let's stick with the dead people for 5 seconds. Hold on.
Yeah,
okay,
sorry.
let's go back to.
Okay, I'll roll it back a little bit.
We're good. We'll hit the prison thing in a minute, but they're literally, instead of mourning the loss and putting the fucking social media down, they're showing people that, hey, record every fucking aspect of your life. So there's no privacy. There's absolutely no intimacy. Yeah, kids are susceptible.
And no respect.
That's fucking that's awful. Like I don't, you know what? I'm so glad that has never hit my For You page because that's fucking disgusting. Like mourn your loss, be with your family, do what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to, you don't have to duck off camera for that.
Oh no, I'm just going over here, but I know.
I got you. You're okay. I thought you were smoking on.
No, it's just a habit. It's just like
no, you're good. I do it for TikTok too. Like I'll lean over here to take a drink. But like that's some toxic shit. I mean that's and
very
then
much.
You said prison. They were doing their eyebrows.
Like, they're
for
talking
prison?
about like meeting, like get ready with me, like going to meet up with your ex. Already, they're your ex. Why are you getting ready to go meet up with your ex?
Jimbo, I don't know about you.
People are just coming up because people are running out of content to use, so they're using their personal lives with these get readies, which is, I guess, kind of scary.
Well, here's my thing. I don't care about bringing your personal life into shit, right? Like that's because I do that.
I team my all the time. I keep that.
Well, I mean, that's when you're doing stretches and corgis, but when he's just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, first of all, I'm not going to put my ex on TikTok. I'm not bringing any because I'm not giving them the validation. They're an ex for a reason. That's why they identify as trash. No, I'm kidding. But at the end of the day, like I don't chase my whiskey. I'm not going to chase a person, and I'm not going to rehash an empty bottle. I'm not going to go, oh, this look, you know what? I remember drinking this bottle. This was like, okay, but then you're going to sit here and you're going to go get ready with me to go to prison.
Yeah, that was the other one. Get ready. But
you got bigger fucking issues.
Examples.
No, I understand
not everyone's
that.
Doing this, but
I get that. But like you're telling me that like we're gonna go get ready to go to prison. I think you got bigger fucking fish to fry than filming your shit. And then
she's saying touching her eyebrows. You can't do your eyebrows, and so that was the
yeah. But I get that you can't do your eyebrows in prison. But and it goes back to it actually is bullshit content, and that's one of the toxic traits of TikTok. You have these creators that are on here, and I use that term loosely because that's like saying lady of the night. You know what I mean? It's a streetwalker, it's a hooker. That's what it is. Let's call it what it is. These are toxic creators because instead of using like your personal examples, like your recovery, my fucking shit show of a PTSD past, Jimbo with whiskey, right? Like we talk about things we know that's personal, like we open up, we show people who we are, but there's content behind it. It's not just here, let me pluck my eyebrows while I go to prison. What'd you go to prison for? Well, I stabbed a man. Well, why did you stab a man? I don't know, because he deserved it. And then they're plucking their eyebrow. Like there's better
and not only that, but the products they're using, like how is that for like the standard middle class? Like a lot of these products are like 40, 50, 60. Like, I'm sorry, but
what kind of products? You talking like skincare? Like the Korean Depology,
like the Korean or whatever, like from like China, from Taiwan. Oh, this gold mask will do you such beauty. it'll tighten up your face, no. And they're very expensive. And I feel like it's, just, and they're not even using in real life. So that's another toxic trait, I believe. They're not even telling us the truth.
I don't know. That to me is just ridiculous. I just, you know what? I mean,
I like to get ready with me, but why can't it just be makeup and like just simple, like get ready with me? Like that's cool.
I still think that's kind of toxic though,
There-
even in and of itself.
I don't know.
Go ahead, Jimbo.
Sorry, brother.
No,
Yeah.
go.
I was going to say, this brings me back to years ago when my daughters were young, and they would watch this woman, and she had a thick, like Long Island accent, and they would walk around emulating her, going, "It's like a windshield wiper. Put it on like a windshield wiper." And we thought it was funny, like, oh, this color, you got to put this color and blend it in and brush it like a windshield wiper. That's all like a 5 and 7-year-old would say. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Because their mother would go, this is funny. Like, it was funny.
Right.
But it was like
you
could
that's
tell
where
it was.
You get ready, you start on YouTube.
You could tell it was tongue in cheek, like it was funny that,
Yeah.
But here's my question though. Do you feel that was toxic because they were trying to put on makeup at that time? And
no, because they weren't. They'd have like their little kits that were just
the fake stuff. I got you. Okay.
Their mother would give them like the brushes and stuff, but no makeup. Like,
okay.
And if it was cartoonish if they did it. You know what I mean? They were little girls. They were not allowed to like do that. They're still not, and they're older, but to a certain extent.
Right.
My oldest is like see-through blonde hair, and she's like that. If I don't do something, I look like I'm an albino. Like I got to do a little something, like I go.
Yeah.
Right.
I get it. But they were little kids. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was funny. It was fun for them, and I could see where that is tongue in cheek, not like digging in and like oh, and you're like, hey, this is a little too much. You know what I mean?
No, I can see that.
And again,
but it's up to the parents too, especially for younger kids. It's all up to the parents of what they're allowing to go through the internet. What they're allowing the kids to see.
And
I didn't even know how to put makeup on until I was in my mid or late 20s because I didn't see I guess I had Get Ready. Maybe I would have known. I learned it all just by watching social media myself. But these kids are learning about like getting ready, makeup. It's such a like. My friend's daughter's the same age as my daughter, and she's got full coverage on, like full coverage makeup on, and she's in 7th grade. 12 years old.
And that's like the beauty pageants.
Mascara, eyeliner, bronzer, everything.
Now, see, and at a young age, they were introduced to some of it because of competitive cheer and dance, where they're like, what the hell are you doing? They're like, we got to make everything bright because they're under lights and they want to see it, and it helps with the show and the act and the performance. I go, I get it. As soon as we're done and we go to a certain Applebee's or something, it's coming off. Like, they're not walking around with apple red makeup on because they just did a competition,
Right. Well, and I also feel like these kids think that when using makeup, they're growing up faster. Like, I know little 12-year-olds that are using skincare. Why are you using skincare that's gonna, or why are you worrying about wrinkles? I just started using it at 38. Like,
but see,
my kids just started because of acne. Once they're like,
well, that's different. I don't mean like acne, like regular. You should wash your face, hygiene and everything. I'm talking about like the little eyeliner things that go underneath your eyes at 12 years old.
Well, here's my question though. What does a 12-year-old need to have the makeup on for, right? Like, first of all, I mean, here's my issue with the whole Get Ready, right? Like, true issue is that you're basically saying you don't like who you are, or you don't like a certain feature, so you're going to try to accent something else. It's not, let me show you a different style if you have this type of face to do this, where make it thinner. They're not saying that. They're not saying like, here, if you want to highlight your blue eyes, do this. They're going, well, I don't really like my nose, so we're going to hide my nose. And here, like, I don't know, have you seen some of these where like the woman's there? It's like a complete catfish. Have you seen these? Where they're like those transition videos where they're standing there, they have no makeup on, no nothing. They're like 100 years old. And then they cut to and they look like 35.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the dental queen. I'll bring her up. She has no teeth and she looks like really old. And I'm going to bring her up right now.
But she's also like a costume and makeup artist. Right. Like, some of them don't go like, this is me without anything. and now boom, I look
Right.
like Pokemon.
Like I just walked off the runway or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
but then you're talking about like the ones that do like the Jack Skeleton or they do the artwork and stuff.
Yeah,
Like
that's
those
different.
things
I like the
I don't
artwork,
mind those.
Yeah.
It's the ones where you're taking this is who you are and this is what we're going to make us look like that I think is very malleable for children, and that will take it to a different level. But even not even children, young adults. And now that's a dangerous part there too, because you have these young kids on an app where now they're trying to do it, they're emulating it, they're doing their videos of, oh, look at my smoky eye or
Oh,
my
here, this is the
butthole
one.
lips or whatever. Yeah, the
Can I
denture queen.
Can I show
I
it?
don't know if we could show it. I would say just look up the
Oh,
denture queen if you
Okay.
don't know.
But
I don't
anyway,
know
you
if
guys
that's
can look her up,
trademarked.
and she's a great transitioning. Like, I feel like the transitioning videos are also with the Get Ready With Me as well.
Thank you, Luca. You said it better than I was struggling to say it. Instead of encouraging natural beauty, it accepts it. It promotes fear that imperfect and blemishes and self-confidence. And that's the biggest thing is that, like, for the
That's very well.
competitions, I get what it is, right? But like when you do this Get Ready With Me, it's one thing as an adult to look at it and go, oh, I like how she does her, like you. I like the little wing that you do on the end of your eye, right? Like it makes
Yeah.
your eyes look very, and I'm going to say it like Egyptian. Like, do you remember like Cleopatra when you look at the pyramids and you see like the eye and the makeup? It makes it very wide. It's very suiting to you. I don't know if a 14-year-old needs to have that. I'm not knocking that, but I'm just saying like that now puts that kind of look onto a child that could potentially be dangerous in the future. And the internet's a scary place. It's a scary fucking place. I mean, 2 Girls, 1 Cup scarred the shit out of me.
Never seen it.
Oh, don't ever watch it.
Oh no,
Don't
I
ever
know
watch
what it's
it.
about.
No, I know you know what it's about, but don't ever watch it.
I wouldn't watch it.
But listen, and I think you have something, Jimbo, don't you? About
Well, what I got a couple, but the one I really wanted to key on was a content creator that was Family Guy. He is Family Guy, career military guy. His content was funny and quick, great humor to it. He would have his kids in there sometimes, his wife a lot of times, because she'd be like, "What are you looking at?" He'd be like, "So I'm talking about Justin Danger Nunley." Great guy, funny guy. He, over the last few years, blew up. Like, absolutely blew up. And the last year to maybe 2 years, he's had to come out and on his platform say, "Listen, guys, this is a serious one. This is a creation. This is a caricature. I invite you into my personal life on little snippets. It's not real. Don't think that we're best friends. Like you're coming to my house. You're not welcome. Like, you're in my yard. You're blocking my driveway." It's like, fun is fun. There's got to be a limit. It became very toxic, but I think he's handled it in a really good way to use that platform to bring that out to the public to go, hey, this is for fun. This started as fun. It's blown up. It's given me so many opportunities, and I'm grateful for him. We've met some amazing people, but there's a limit, and you got to keep that limit of reality and content. You know what I mean? And I think that's really important, you know?
I mean, it is. It's a fine line. It's a weird thing. I know, like Jimbo, you know that I've had people that have shown up at my house unannounced, like just because they took a Google image of a screenshot of me on a live, which is why I do everything in a bedroom now, and you don't see the light of day. You don't know if it's dark, not where I'm at. I mean, I say where I'm at, like, you know, I'm here located in Pennsylvania, but I don't go like, here's my address. They showed up. And I'm not a huge creator on there, right? Like, I have a decent following, but I'm not Nunley. You know what I mean? Like, that guy is fucking, you know, I could only fucking imagine someone finds out where he lives or locates him because he's him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
He's become a celebrity status.
Yeah, 100%.
Because millions and millions, multi-millions of followers.
Yeah.
And it's fun and it's lighthearted, and a lot of times it's family oriented. So I think people feel that oh, he's such a great guy. You know, oh, we got to meet him. Hey, let's go to his house. No.
Yeah, see, I would hate that. I'm so glad. Like, I get pissed off when I get noticed in the gas station. They're like, "You're Joe the Bull guy," and I'm like, "I have no idea who that fat fuck is," and I walk away because I don't want to deal with it. Sometimes it's just like I would like to have and that's the other thing with this. And I think Nicole, you were talking about that the people were going into their like personal stories while they're going into doing this get ready with me. It's that they're crossing that line because they're and I'm not saying Nunley's doing that, but people are crossing that line and they're sharing like, oh, I'm here, you're here, let's meet up. And you
Yeah.
have no idea who these people are. You've never talked to them a day in your life, and now you're going halfway around the country to go meet them.
Right. Well, they're okay. So that's for an example, and this might have been more of a positive meetup, but this there was this group of like recovery, and they all met up, and they actually started like a thing they do every year, like an annual event. I forgot
Like you
the
get
name of it.
together, yeah.
Yeah, where they get together, and that was like more of a positive. But I also know another person that actually they were met up, and then they started like a toxic relationship, like two creators from two different, and that creator actually moved there and everything, started trying to support her, and like it ended really badly.
Well, see, and that's one of the positive things of like these meetups. Yeah, sure. But there's also like, I mean, we talked about one of them, I think, when we were in our little meeting about like the Udi situation and all that stuff, right? Like, and I love Udi. He's funny just like Nunley, but there was an issue there. And these things get blown out of proportion because it's TikTok famous. And that's what
Right.
people don't understand. Like Nunley moved from like TikTok famous to where he's getting recognized outside of TikTok, where, you know, I think I heard somewhere that and it could be a rumor, but he might be doing a spot on a TV show as just like a, hey, listen, as like a passerby, you know what I mean? But who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
the point is that that's something positive that came out of it, right? Like he's never crossed that line to where it was toxic. It was always like, listen, I knew you needed Jesus just like I did. And his wife will walk in and be like, what the hell are you doing? Nothing. It was the internet. You know,
I
like
think we need to go all down to the river. Like
Right.
that is like one of his, you know, like it's that wife catching him, maybe looking at like it's a natural response that you would have with your people.
right.
And I think that's why so many people connected with him. You know?
Well, it's also he was down to earth too. It was like what
Yeah.
the fuck? That's like Shelly Belly when she does the hey Donna, because we all have that one person that's like fucking Donna.
Well,
But
look
Go
at
ahead.
Dane Cook. His whole career when he was in his prime started with YouTube.
Yeah,
He
did.
blew up because of YouTube in the late 90s, early 2000s.
I mean,
Like,
look at Jackass.
yeah.
I mean,
And
but
that's when MTV was throwing money at people to say, "Hey, what will people like? What were these kids like?"
it was like the original TikTok.
They were from outside of PA, yeah, outside of Philly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like
Remember, what is it? Rob Dyrdek has that show where he plays clips and they comment on it. It's a little bit toxic, but it's funny.
I don't know.
You know, they do it. You don't know if you've seen that one? I think Jimbo froze. Well, perfect
Peter
time.
Better.
Well, let's read.
Okay, well, on a positive note, I do have some positive stuff
Well-
on these TikTok on two people that like said that get ready with was actually positive.
Okay.
Okay, so there was this girl, Allie. She's 25. She used to be an elementary teacher. She started doing these get ready with me. She was actually able to leave her job, and now she does it full time. And then she said that like she had companies reaching out to her to offer her gifts, and she considered that also another side hustle. So she started making really, you know, like an income, like to support herself. Doesn't say she has a family or not. And then another positive note, well, not really. This is not positive because this girl literally bought this for her. This
Mhm.
one lady, 25, she actually she bought one of those freckle pens. You know, they went viral on TikTok. They were literally like, oh, if you want freckles on the get ready, you can put them on your face. Well, this girl, she bought it and she literally would watch TikTok all day to see how to do it. And she's like, oh, it's like watching a friend on FaceTime. Okay, I don't know how that's your friend, but okay. But yeah, but like she bought this pen just because somebody else was wearing it on TikTok.
And you know what?
Freckle pen to give you
Every
freckles.
little Irish girl that I went to school with who had freckles hated the fucking freckles.
I
Was
know.
miserable with the freckles. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. As a guy, a little couple of freckles is like a little cute, but I'm just, you know,
yeah.
yeah.
My oldest, just like her mother, full of but because her mother had such a positive attitude about it, she doesn't even think about it. She's like,
See?
no, this is me. Like, this is,
Well,
and
there's women
it's just her
trying
little
to
personality,
make
you know, like.
Yeah, this is like the Marilyn Monroe
This is like
beauty
a
mark.
freckle pen to give you freckles.
Like,
Oh,
So
you
they're
mean like
trying
the
to
girl in
like,
high
oh,
school
it's
that would have a
cute,
mole,
it's cutesy
the
and
Madonna
weird to
mole in a
have
different part of her
freckles.
body
Yes.
every other week?
every other day it was all over, and then she's like, "No, it's in the same spot."
The Madonna mole, the 80s,
Yeah.
90s Madonna mole.
Marilyn
Yeah.
Monroe, yeah, the right.
Yeah.
Oh
Crazy.
God, oh
Crazy.
Jesus, I don't miss that at all.
Uh,
Or Vogue.
They did say that the creator economy is worth 250 billion today and could roughly double in size by 2027.
I believe it.
So
I
like
believe
with
it.
the creators that are like with the with like what their products they are producing. Yeah.
Well, you know, I do the TikTok shop, and
Yeah.
I get a lot of products. I mean, hell, this microphone that I'm using tonight, not to plug it or anything, but you know, this was a TikTok sample, and you know what? To be honest with you, it's a hell of a fucking mic. You know, like it beats the hell out of the one I have. But I do a video with it. I do a 30-second clip. People see it. I've sold 7 of them. Now, my profit on that is like $2.30, but I'm also not these huge creators. Okay. The huge
Right.
creators, they make a lot of money on that. They get special deals and whatnot, to where the more they sell, they get incentives where they get iPads and MacBooks and all this shit, which again, I mean, it's marketing and marketing sells, but where there's that toxicity when they're on the platform. Yeah.
I think that really goes into the product and what it's used for. And
True.
I think that all what we're dealing right now stemmed from our COVID years, because everybody was virtual. There was not, and so what happens when you're virtual? People figure out how to make money with it.
QVC.
In my industry, one of the largest growing industries was barbecuing, home cooking, spices, rubs, sauces. It blew up. And that's what we're seeing now, to where people are like, hey, this is what I do at home, because I can't go to a restaurant. I can't go here. And I want to have a good brisket, and I want to have this. And so now it became, because we were forced to be virtual, it's just growing and growing and growing. And what do people find out how to do? How to make money with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that kind of had a little stem with all this, was everybody being virtual with COVID, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
But that's, you know, so take toxic people, throw them in a closet, and you get some toxicity. You take some good people that are trying to, you know, continue to feed their family, put a roof over their kid's head, and do like the rubs, the home things.
Mm-hmm.
It became a virtual online QVC, which is not a bad thing, but it put a lot of things out there. And the problem is, a lot of these things
Heard a lot
can
of
be
small
knockoffs.
businesses.
Right, but these would also be knockoffs as well, right? So the problem is, you have these issues to where some of these products, like there was a hair dye, right, where it was supposed to turn your hair red. Okay, and I tried it. I swear to God, and it actually turned it blonde. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, now they sent it to me. Why they sent it to me, I don't know. I'm a big burly fat guy. What the fuck do I need red hair for? But I was like, hey, you know, if I can make $20, I'll make $20. At least I don't have to do something inappropriate for it, you know. But it completely did the wrong thing. Then there was another one. It was a toothpaste that they had to recall. They literally, TikTok sent out and said, please return this or throw out.
Wow.
Why? Well, this has a product that is not allowed in the United States. How'd it get here?
Right.
So,
Exactly.
you know, some of these things, like I think you had a list of products, right? That were doing like you said something about green. It turned something green. Weren't you talking about products that were not being used?
I just meant like in general, like they're like with the secrecy, like the amusing products, and like hair product being an example, like their hair turning green when they actually told it was supposed to come out like, sparkling. That's what I
So
meant.
like me
Just in
saying
general.
I use this type of beard oil, but yet I don't use a damn thing. So it's basically
Right.
just false advertising, which is another toxicity. I mean,
Exactly.
I don't want to make it sound like all of this is, like toxic, because TikTok, YouTube, all these platforms can be
educational.
used for good. It can be used for good because you can touch. Oh, that sounded bad. You can reach. I was going to say you can touch a lot of people, but that we're
Yeah,
going
that
to leave
sounds good, Joe.
we're going to leave
really-
politics out of this.
A really quick story, because this just reminded me of it, how something that then can be misconstrued as being illegal or toxic winds up to be totally harmless and funny. Everybody probably knows Cosmo Q, barbecue rubs. Cosmo Q is huge.
Yeah.
Huge, nationwide. On his podcast, he tells the story, and it's titled how my daughter told her teacher I was selling substances, right? So he says, they're back to school after COVID. They're like, so what everybody do? Well, my daddy quit working, and now he talks to people on the internet, and he sells powders and bags to people. He started his rub company, but she was, young and didn't know. But the guy's got such a funny personality. I've met him, such a good guy. And he goes, yeah, we get a call, we get emails. We're like, we need to talk to you. Like,
Listen,
goes,
I would not.
Here's our Dirty Bird chicken rub. This is what
listen, that teacher probably thought there was a bag of rocks that he was selling.
But you know what I mean? Such a funny story that could be like, oh shit, like really? But it was a positive thing. I mean, the guy's created a monster product. He's huge in the industry now.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, again, this could be used for very, good things, mental health. I do that on mine. It's okay not to be okay. Nicole does recovery. Like, these are things that can promote things, but it's got to be done in a delicate way, right? Like, you just can't throw it out there. And actually, I think, Jim, you had you researched a story about the Bushman. Is that what Bushwhack or Bushman?
So
I know something with Bush. You love Bush, so I mean,
it's kind of like part of my Google history.
No, like big bushes.
Well, apparently this is a big bush.
Okay.
So he's called. Well, everything in Texas is bigger. So he's the Texas Bushman, and he's huge on YouTube. I know Carl said he sees him on TikTok and other things. It's just the last one I watched, just to refamiliar. It's the best of 2024, and it's quick clips. He dresses like a bush, and he's got like stuff like oranges or apples, and people walk by, they're like, "That's not real," but they'll like go, and he jumps up and he scares the bejesus out of them, and something so innocent, you can see like the little kids get scared. He's had an incident where someone was maybe handicapped, and he scared him, but he didn't know. But he then goes, hey, guys, this is all fun. Hey, here's T-shirts. Thank you. I'm going to be in the video. You'll be in the video. But such a great guy to where you would think to where it could go a wrong way. But the way he does it is in such a lighthearted and fun way that people give him high fives. And they're like, man, you got me. You got me good. Like, but such fun to watch. And what'd you say, Touchdown?
I've seen him. He's hysterical. I saw one where this woman was walking by. She had headphones on, and I believe she had some kind of handicap, right? And he scared her, and she started to cry.
Yeah.
And he freaked out, and he throws the mask off. He gets undressed out of this whole thing. Like, I mean, it was like he'd stripped down into whatever he had on. And he's
when her family then came up and approached and was like, it's okay. Like,
right. And he calmed her down. But see, that's something that I just wonder how many times he got punched in the face. Because my knee-jerk reaction is wham.
At least swung at, right? Well, there's a couple to where women, you see them, they like jump back, swing a bag, or guys are like this. He's like, but so it's lighthearted, it's fun, and it kind of takes that where there's other people that do things like that in supermarkets and settings to where they cross the line.
Right.
And you're like, first of all, you touched me. Okay?
Right.
Or you put something on me. Or
That guy in the park that throws a backpack and takes off running. You all
Yeah.
remember those idiots. Yeah.
Right. But he does it in a way to where, and
It's
they'll go,
funny.
hey, here's the camera, guys. Like, and people are
Right.
like, oh, that's great. And they're high fiving and hugging. Hey, here's merchandise. Make sure you follow it. I'll post it and this and that. And he takes that toxicness out of it.
Well,
You know?
he makes them smile. Right?
Yeah.
Like he scares the
Right.
shit out of them. Let's be realistic. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure one of the ones I saw, the woman peed herself. And she even looked at him and was
That
like,
was on the best of 24. She was
right.
like, "Beep."
Oh God, I had children. I peed myself.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard. But he's like, I'm so sorry. And I remember he took a shirt, he wrapped it around her, he got the camera guy to go get a pair of pants. Like they did a whole clip on it afterwards of like how he did the right thing. But that's like the Billy on the street. I love that. Right. He'll run up. It's very intrusive, right? You have somebody running up to you. You have no fucking idea who it is. They look at you and go, for $1, can you tell me who Mary Catherine Shannon is? And they're like, and they go, Molly Shannon, fuck you, goodbye. And they run to the next person, right? But it's like that. Wait a second. Was that the famous actress that he was just at? Holy shit. And it's that oh shit moment. It breaks that cycle of where somebody could be having a horrible day. And it makes something like at first it's like, oh, it's shocking to the system, but then you laugh about it and you're like, okay, this is pretty cool. So it's not good.
One of the late night hosts that would do a thing with a celebrity, and he would have them, hey, what do you think about the best one I ever seen was Mike Tyson. What do you think of Mike Tyson? Oh man, yeah, I think he's kind of a chump, this and that, and blah blah blah. And then Mike Tyson walks out
Right behind
and
him.
he like puts his hand up on his shoulder, and the guy's like,
he's the best that ever was.
Yeah, man, what's up, champ? What's up, champ? He did it with the singer, the redheaded singer.
Chick or dude?
No, guy, British guy, redheaded, amazing voice.
Not Louis Capaldi. Ed Sheeran.
No,
Ed
that's
Sheeran.
it. Ed Sheeran. And they're like, he's okay, And then he comes out, he comes out with his guitar, he starts singing. You're like, yo, yeah, that's fun. You know what I mean? Like
it's lighthearted.
You're putting people on the spot. It's not toxic. It's like so many ways to do it that you don't have to be that aggressive or assaultive in a way.
Well, I think the thing that it really boils down to is that you guys that like no matter what, I think it boils down to just content. A lot of these creators are running out of ideas, and instead of being creative like a creator is supposed to be, they just sit there. Like some of these lives that I go into and we do the battles, and you guys know that I do these things and I go through them and I'll sit there in boxes like this and we battle, and it's a game, right? But I try to have fun with it. I don't try to take it seriously. I don't give a shit if do I want to win? Sure. I'm a competitive person, but at the end of the day, if I can make Jimbo laugh while we're doing it, that's the best part about it. If I can get Nicole to say something perverted real quick because, she went, oh shit, I don't have a filter. Oh God, no, I shouldn't say that on here. We should save it for the podcast. It's not toxic. But I've seen some of these where they're screaming at their chat. Like, we'll just use Luca, right? Like, because he's here in the chat. Luca, how could you put that there? You better give me a lion. Like, what the fuck? Where's their content in that?
Right.
That's just berating someone.
Or
which is also a fetish.
Because
until I get the
gift first.
Or till my type walks in. Now you're giving everybody who might be self-conscious. I've seen these and I hate these. That's like the rate your profile when you come in.
Yeah.
Like I hate those lives, and not the ones that are trying to do the positive, right? Or no one gets below an 8, right? Like, and they're always like, oh, you're a 10 because you're amazing or whatever, right? But then they're like, oh, Jimbo's a 4 and Nicole's a 6. Well, what if Nicole has an eating disorder? Now we just said she's a 6, but I want to be a 10.
You know what's funny? Is that when I first went back on that platform, it was not that. It was only a few months ago.
Right.
Those rate my profile pics were huge. Gift me this and I'll rate your profile pic. And I'd see them time after time. And then I'm like watching them and looking. Some of them were recorded.
Yeah.
They weren't even live.
Well, because that's
they're like,
someone
hey,
would screen record it.
All right, there's 30 people in here, and you look up, there's like 120 people. Like,
But see, that wasn't the creator.
We're at this count. The count's not right. I'm like, this isn't even live.
That happened to a friend of mine. That's not them. That's not the original account. So Jimbo, like you, let's say you do that, right? But I'm this person who wants to make money off of it. So I'm going to steal your profile. And this is what happened. This is a friend of mine is watermarking all of her videos because of this. Exactly. They record. She's a gorgeous girl in a bikini, right? And she talks about rocks. Obviously not probably everybody wants to talk about rocks, but a gorgeous girl in a bikini talking about rocks, people are going to sit there and fucking listen. Right. I'm going to listen about geodes. I don't give a fuck about them.
I got them in my yard.
That Aztec pattern on the bikini, that's a thong, on point, right? So, but she's bringing attention. She's using, one thing to do whatever, but someone screen recorded her live while she was battling, and she's talking to people. I was in that live, and I threw her a heart me and whatnot, and then I scroll on the For You page about 5-6 hours later, and I hear my name, like Joe the Bull Guy. Thank you for the daily heart me, and I'm like, the fuck? I'm in the For You page. So I click in. It's not her. It's some other account. And they're stealing the content and they're making money off of it. So TikTok's been cracking down on these things, which is good and bad.
And that's something I was going to say, that recently you don't see them at all.
Because they stopped them as soon as it comes up. That's where this puzzle piece comes through, because they want authentic content. TikTok is not promoting. That's why some of these creators have like 200 views on things. Like me, I'll put out a video where I'm like morning thought of the day, and I'll say some bullshit, right? Like, if you hated yesterday, today's really gonna suck for you, or some shit. And like, remember you're fucking amazing, and blah 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 blah, right? Or I'll come up with like, I was just sitting here in my office, my finger broke through the toilet paper, and I thought, why don't we have shit mittens or something stupid, right? But like something that will make you laugh, make you giggle, and has a point to it. Where like you have some of these people where they just sit there and stare at the screen and go, yeah, I'm me, be me, I'm Demure, and then move on. And it's like, how the fuck, like, that's why that other platform, Clapper, drives me fucking insane, right? You want to talk about toxic shit? Let's talk about Clapper.
Dude, that's like 100%.
What about the Grow accounts?
The Grow accounts,
like literally only posting your tag name unless you're sending them a 1K gift or higher.
Yeah, see, I don't like those either, because they're monetizing, trying to support. And I don't mind if people get monetization while supporting. It's when you're using the monetization to say, well, if you don't give me, then I won't support you. Where I don't give a shit. I'll support you if you like. People come into my chat all the time and they're like, hey man, I saw a video that I fucking love. Thank you for doing that. I'll follow. Some of the best people I have met have been random people coming into my chat, not gifting, but just saying hello. But like Clapper, again, I'll pick on this thing. I feel like I need penicillin every time I go on it. But like, if you look at it, first of all, it's like the Wish version of TikTok. Let's be realistic here. Like, the setup is weird. The whole fucking gamut is like, what the fuck? Then you have these people who are half naked and they're sitting there like, gift me, or else I'm going to get banned. And it's like, get banned for what? And then they show their titty, and you're like, what the fuck? What is this?
And the best, they'll have like little yield signs going, all right, I got to be careful. I already got one warning. And you're like, warning for what? And then you go, oh, that's why.
So then I didn't know what D&D was. I thought it was Dungeons and Dragons, right? I swear to fucking God.
Do not disturb.
Do not disturb. I had no idea what that means. And she goes, okay, so it's 5, send a wine glass, 3, 2. If you don't send it, click. Like, I was on that app for 4 minutes. Okay. 4 minutes before I said, fuck this, and uninstalled it.
Well, I told you the night I went down that rabbit hole, and I was like, what? It's like watching a car accident happen. You can't get away.
But it's worse than that, though. It's like the hub meets a car accident and you're rubbernecking the shit out of it. And I'm not knocking people that are going on and trying to, because like later we're going to have somebody that comes on here that has an OnlyFans, and I'm not knocking somebody that's doing adult content, but I didn't have to verify my age. I didn't have to do a goddamn thing to Clapper whatsoever. And all I keep thinking about to myself is how much money is people wasting on this shit? and B, we're supporting them. Now, here's the other question. Up until just recently, internet income wasn't taxable. So how many of these people were I funding by working my ass off 3 jobs and then doing this shit, and it's no content? There's no content to it.
There's people in some, you mentioned the one, it's very few that can make 6 to 8 digits a month.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a friend, she makes 50,000 plus a month.
Still.
But yeah, she does it every month.
But it's also private. It's also private. It's not out there.
Age
for the public to
verified.
view.
You have to
You
find
can't
it.
just like Google, like look up certain things. You got to be specific who you're looking for.
Exactly.
Like it's like that's why TikTok, you can't even advertise an OF anymore.
Right.
You got to link it to Instagram or something else to then link it to OF.
Right. And that's all about cross promoting. But even still, like the fucked up part about it is they're doing it a way that is respectful. It's not in your face. They're not throwing it out there where I feel like some of the other platforms, and there's another one that's out there too.
Well, with
started.
OF, you're there for that reason.
Right, 100%. It's like the hub. Like you're there for one reason, one reason only.
Right. I'm not
On
looking to learn
TikTok-
how to crochet on OF.
Right. Like TikTok, I'm looking to laugh my ass off. I'm looking at the little kid that goes, "It's a fucking goat." You know,
Right.
like that. That to me,
It's
you know,
I'm a witch.
right. I'm a bad
Can I
bitch.
pet that
You know,
dog?
like
Can I pet that dog?
well, you know, like, would you rather be with a man or a bear in the woods? Like, first of all, that's another toxic, dumb bullshit anyway. But let's not go down that fucking rabbit hole. But you know what I mean? Like, those are the things that I'm looking, or the new dance that they're trying to do, and you know, somebody.
Well, remember,
themselves up.
TikTok started out with people lip syncing and dancing to songs.
100%. It was Musically that
That's
it
how it
became
started out.
TikTok. And now look at what it perversed to. Now, did some qualities are good, some qualities are bad, but that's such as life, right? Like everything in life, there's a positive and there's a negative, and we have to choose what we allow to affect us. So obviously,
100%.
if me talking about Trump pisses people off, scroll on. You don't have to sit there, but I'm not going to attack people. There are people that go after people in the comments and fuck with them nonstop and relentlessly, and they make money on it. There's one guy that's on TikTok. I sat in his live, I swear to God, for 5 minutes. I heard every fucking negative thing that come out of somebody's mouth about another human being that he never even saw, that it was just a username on the screen, and went fucking ham on them. And to be honest, it was atrocious, but he made $2,000 in less than 5 minutes. And you and I are over here trying to make people laugh in a nice way, a positive way. Nicole's trying to reach a community where it's like positive and, hey, let's, you know, promote sobriety, 5 years clean, which is fantastic. You know what I mean? Like all of these positive things. And then you have this shit in the background, which gives it a bad name. So like when I tell my parents that I'm on TikTok, they're like, "Oh, you're on that fucking app," and blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not shaking my ass for a corgi, although I shake my ass for a corgi. So,
To be fair.
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
But listen,
But,
when guys do it, listen, the only, I'm like, listen.
listen.
Well, did you know, dude, when a guy does it, it's in jest. It's funny. People laugh at it. Look at our good friend that does it, that wears the cowboy hat. Looks like he's rattling a duty belt and change is going to come out of his pockets. That's funny.
Wilson's balls rattling around like BBs in a glass jar is funny.
I sent him one just so I can laugh my ass off. Like,
right.
That's funny.
But that's positive.
And he's a buddy, so you're like, hey, supporting him. It's fun. He thinks it's funny. Everybody, if he didn't think it was funny, then it wouldn't be fun. You know,
exactly. Exactly.
It's
that's like I do the Franktastic. I'll do the whatever, right? You know, if Nicole felt that was perverse and she didn't want to do it, I wouldn't say, no, you got to go do it. You got to do, you know, like.
Oh no, I got one earlier, and I went.
And we missed it, damn it. No, just kidding.
I did.
Okay, can we just, for the chat and everybody who's going to be watching this later, could you make that sound again so a couple of them could have that as their ringtone?
Hot 2 has got nothing on you, Nicole.
He said, "Glug Glug 3000, watch me." Oh, oh my god. If spit would have came out of your mouth while you did that, I think I would have ended the podcast and just went and
Holy
go
my
take a cold
goodness.
shower.
I do have some positive.
Oh, I thought
stuff.
she was going to say spit coming out of her mouth.
To,
I was like,
avoid
whoa.
toxic stuff as a content creator, if you want.
Go ahead. Yeah. No,
Yes.
go for
Okay.
it. Let's hear it.
All right. These are things you can avoid, toxic things, as being a content creator. Stay calm and think clearly when doing content production during live streams. Carefully choose what games you will play. I usually avoid games that can make me angry, like competitive games. Always listen to criticism and suggestions from your friends, viewers, to always reflect on yourself. If possible, avoid people who are usually toxic. Stay in shape. If you're not feeling well, not in the mood, it's better not to live stream or record. Remember, mood is important to become a content creator so that viewers can enjoy watching you. Avoid toxic or annoying viewers, but don't block them first. Give them a warning 3 times, and if they still are annoying, then block. Don't forget to rest because you are not a robot. Sometimes we don't rest enough. We'll easily get carried away by emotions. Don't be arrogant, angry, stay humble. Always listen to what viewers say. Keep enjoying your process. Focus on your target. Keep positive thinking. Now that's from one person, but this next person has a few suggestions. Set clear boundaries and guidelines. 2, engage positivity. 3, use block and report features. 4, take breaks. 5, cultivate a supportive community. And then positive content. Create and share content that promotes positivity. There you go. Those are helpful hints on being a very positive and not a toxic content creator. Let's go.
Fantastic. 100%. I think that's, and the biggest one was the second part, the first one you said about setting boundaries and expectations. I think that is catalyst of importance when you go live and you're at that point that you're going live with people, that you have to know that. And it's our responsibility to set those boundaries, because if we don't, then you have to handle it in a professional way,
Well, and staying positive, like it was funny in customer service, they always tell you, like, when you're answering the phone, smile, because the tone will come through. Yep. Right. Meanwhile, you're like, you motherfucker, I hate you. Yeah, but it sounds positive, right? So, like, when you're a content creator, and that's one of the biggest things that, like, I've done that, where I've had a live scheduled and I've went on for like 3 seconds and said, hey guys, I'm not going to be on today. I was supposed to be here. I'm really not feeling well. It's not a good day for me. I'm human too. And that's the other thing that people forget, is that we're people. We're not just this fucking thing on a screen, right? Like, I have shit days. Jim, you have shit days. Nicole, I'm sure you have shit days. You know what I mean? Your mental health is more important than a fucking app. It's more important than this podcast. It's more important than anything, really, because you can't save someone if you can't put your own fucking mask on. Right in the airplane, you guys hear me say this all the time in my lives. When you're on a plane and they're doing the little, so if we lose cabin pressure and the mask comes down, make sure you put it on top of your face, pull the strings and make sure it's tight, then assist other people. Why? Because if I'm in a fucking shit mood, how am I going to talk to Jimbo about stay positive and don't worry? It doesn't work.
It's the number one rule with CERT, SWAT, anything like that. If you're not in physical and mental shape to save yourself, you can't save anybody else.
Exactly.
Number one.
Except the nozzle nuts, because they'll save a cat out of a tree every time.
And they get, I made you a cake for saving my cat. And we're like,
right. Yeah. Fuck you, Carl. Fuck you, Carl. I said it.
Carl.
It's fucking Carl. We're blaming Carl. Where did he go?
Carl.
He's like the Invisible Man. He's here 1 second, gone the next. I swear, it's like I'm getting PTSD in my dad.
Nice, Carl. I would have liked to have some delicious Triscuit crackers. We all know what movie that's from. The only character that's named Carl, except for, remember Aqua Teen Hunger Force? The neighbor was Carl.
It was.
Dude, Carl. Hey, Carl.
Listen, I don't care.
Doing, Carl?
I'm blaming Carl. That's my toxic trait for today. I'm blaming Carl. It's Carl's fault.
And like everything else, we say it in jest.
100%. 100%.
We love.
Oh, Absolutely. I like the bust his balls though. I mean,
Absolutely.
To be fair.
And he takes it up.
He does. He does. Just like every other host jockey. Oh, I'm just kidding. We love you guys. We love you. But with that being said, just to kind of wrap up tonight, you need to, if you're going to be a content creator and you're going to go out there and you're going to go do this shit and you're going to try to make this fun, entertaining, remember what you go to the movies for. Remember what you go to watch TV for. It's to uplift you. It's to take your mind off of what's going on in your own life. Sometimes you're looking for advice like Sally Jesse Raphael. Yes, I dated myself. Shut up about it. Move on from it. But you don't want to be the toxic, you are not the father kind of thing to watch, because although it's a train wreck and you can't help but watch it, at the end of the day, watch Jerry Springer and go watch, I even say it, Oprah, right? What with both of them, when you shut off Oprah, which I don't watch that shit anyway, but if you shut it off, generally you feel better about it. I don't know. I don't. I think it's bullshit. But, you know, Jerry Springer, what are you watching it for? You're watching it for the train wreck. You're not watching it for the mental health. You're not watching it to get a positive outlook. Ellen, I think Ellen does a lot of like uplifting, positive things where she helps people and stuff. Either way, it's not the toxicity. So when you're a creator, make sure you stay positive. Make sure you have a reason, a niche, something you're going to go do. Don't just sit there and be like, hi, I'm Joe. I run a button factory. How you doing? Yep. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Talk about something. Find something to discuss, like the rodeo, whiskey, sobriety, fucking dark humor. Just don't go too dark. Keep a couple of things around. Mental health. That's a big one. This app and all apps and all the social media can help with that. In a time where we were locked in, it was supposed to, and it didn't. And some of it did, some of it didn't. And that's, you got to navigate that. And it's like, you know, trying to go through the bar and pick out the girl that doesn't have herpes. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to go home with that one.
You always find out.
1 out of 4, by the way. 1 out of 4. Or no, is that warrants?
General warts, herpes. If you don't know, don't ask. But either way, get penicillin, get it checked out by a doctor. Don't call her.
I'm going to keep comments to myself.
No, let it go. Let your freak flag fly, Jim. What were you going to say?
Theo Von said it best when he's like, hey, man, I'm going to Australia. You know, they got some koalas down there. And his friend goes, you know, they got syphilis. Like, don't fuck with them. They got syphilis. He goes, how you know I ain't going to give a koala something?
Like, I mean, fair. True that.
How does that koala know what I got?
One of the best lines that I remember is, don't be a fool, rap your tool. So with that being said, from Van Wilder, love it. Thank you guys. Thank you for being here. Jimbo, as always, fantastic work. Nicole, amazing fucking research as always. I just appreciate everybody who's here tonight. Everybody in the chat for participating.
Thank you,
Fuck you, Carl. Fuck you, Carl. I said it.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Damn it, Carl.
Yeah, you know what? Do we though? I mean, really? Do we really love? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck just happened. I was saying, do we really love Carl? But I don't think we do. We?
He's listening. He blocked us.
Did he?
No, just kidding.